Hogwarts is not the only wizarding school in existence. There are at least 11 known wizarding schools, hiding in plain sight in other parts of the world. In this series of videos we will unravel the mysteries of these wizarding academies. We will take a look back on their school history and school founders, as well as their academic and magical practices, which are unique to their part of the world. In the end, we will find out how their culture and school teachings had helped shape the wizarding world into how it is today. These are the wizarding schools of the world. High on the peak of Mount Greylock in Massachusetts in the United States of America, hidden from Muggle eyes by powerful enchantments, stands a castle that rivals Hogwarts itself. Most witches and wizards outside North America know almost nothing about it. This is Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Ilvermorny is America's great contribution to magical education. Founded in the 1600s, it has grown from a small cottage school into one of the most respected wizarding institutions in the world. But its story is unlike any other. Born out of exile, shaped by danger, and steeped in legends, its history blends old-world traditions with Native American magic. Before Ilvermorny became the great American school of witchcraft and wizardry, there was one young witch, running from her past and searching for a new beginning. Her name was Isolt Sayre, a descendant of Salazar Slytherin, and the unlikely founder of the most celebrated magical institution in the New World. Isolt Sayre was born in Ireland in the early 1600s. She was the daughter of William and Rhonda Sayre, and through her mother's bloodline, she was the direct descendant of none other than Salazar Slytherin. But tragedy struck early. When Isolt was just 5 years old, her parents were killed, and she was taken in by her aunt, Gormlaith Gaunt, a fanatical witch obsessed with purity of blood and loyal to Slytherin's darkest ideals. If the name Gaunt sounds familiar, it's because she had some notable descendants, namely, Marvolo Gaunt, the father of Merrippy Gaunt. Merrippy Gaunt eventually married Tom Riddle Sr., and gave birth to a certain Tom Marvolo Riddle, who eventually became Lord Voldemort. For years, Gormlaith kept Isolt isolated, refusing her a wand, forbidding her from contact with the outside world. But Isolt's spirit couldn't be crushed. She longed for freedom, and when the chance came, she fled. Disguising herself as a boy, she crossed the ocean to a land that promised her a fresh start, America. Landing on the shores of Massachusetts, Isolt discovered a wild and unfamiliar land. Here, the magical community was far less structured than in Europe, but no less dangerous. Wandless and alone, she relied on her wits to survive. It was in the deep forests that she first encountered magical creatures she had never dreamed of, Thunderbirds, Wampus cats, and horned serpents. But it was the horned serpent, with its glittering jewel on its forehead, that seemed to speak directly to her mind. This bond would guide her choices for years to come. In her travels, Isolt came across a no-maj settler named James Stewart. Though he had no magical abilities, James was kind, brave, and resourceful. Their companionship quickly grew into something deeper, and the two would eventually marry, an early example of magical and non-magical lives intertwining in the New World. Together, they built a modest stone house at the base of Mount Greylock. But their family didn't stop there. Isolt and James adopted two orphaned boys, Chadwick and Webster Boot, who had lost their parents to illness. Isolt raised them as her own, teaching them magic, values, and resilience. What began as homeschooling around the family hearth soon became something more. Isolt wanted her children to have what she never did, the chance to learn magic in freedom, safety, and joy. The Boot boys thrived, and soon, other magical children began joining them. The small cottage transformed into a place of learning, and the family gave it a name, Ilvermorny, after Isolt's childhood home in Ireland. Isolt Sayre's life was shaped by loss, exile, and survival, but she transformed her pain into purpose. From the shadows of Gormlaith Gaunt's tyranny, she built a school rooted in acceptance and hope, a legacy that still endures. In the end, Ilvermorny wasn't just a school. It was a promise that magic could flourish, not in fear, but in freedom. Like Hogwarts, Ilvermorny has 4 houses, but theirs are not lions, snakes, badgers, and eagles. Instead, they are drawn from magical creatures and Native American lore. First, we have Thunderbird, representing the soul, favoring adventurers. We then have the Wampus, symbolizing the body, favoring warriors. The third house is Horned Serpent, embodying the mind, favoring scholars. Finally there is Pukwudgie, standing for the heart, favoring healers. The sorting ceremony itself is a spectacle. At Hogwarts, students put on the sorting hat. But Ilvermorny's sorting ceremony is far more dramatic. When a new student enters the Great Hall, 4 enchanted carvings come alive. The Horned Serpent, Wampus, Thunderbird, and Pukwudgie. Each represents a house, and each reacts if it wishes to claim the student. The Horned Serpent's crystal will glow. The Wampus roars. The Thunderbird beats its wings. And the Pukwudgie raises its arrow in the air. Sometimes, multiple houses choose the same student, and in that rare moment, the student themselves gets to decide. This ritual reflects Ilvermorny's values of self-determination and the wild magic of the land it was built upon. Another striking difference lies in wand lore. While Ollivanders is the gold standard in Britain, Ilvermorny developed its own wand-making traditions, pioneered by James Stewart, the school's co-founder. American wands often incorporate cores unique to the continent. The hair of a Wampus cat, the feather of a Thunderbird, or the crystal shard of a Horned Serpent. These wands are deeply tied to the land itself, making Ilvermorny graduates' magic feel distinctly different from their European counterparts. Ilvermorny also weaves North American magical culture into its daily practices. Students frequently study the magical creatures of the surrounding forests, learning defensive and healing spells with a practical, hands-on approach. Lessons often move outside the classroom, where Thunderbirds soar overhead and Pukwudgies, grumpy but loyal protectors of the school, patrol the grounds. Even the uniforms tell a story. Instead of plain black robes, Ilvermorny students wear blue and cranberry, a nod to Isolt Sayre's love of blue, and cranberry for James Stewart's fondness for his favorite pie. Ilvermorny's curriculum is also shaped by the cultural melting pot of early America. Native magical traditions, often wandless and tied to the natural world, influenced the way spells were taught. While European wizards relied heavily on incantations and formal charms, Ilvermorny placed greater emphasis on intuition, energy, and a connection to living magic. This fusion gave Ilvermorny a unique identity, a school where ancient European lore met the indigenous magical practices of North America, resulting in spells, potions, and enchantments found nowhere else. From its living sorting ceremony to its distinctly American wands, Ilvermorny thrives as a symbol of adaptation and cultural exchange. It isn't just a mirror of Hogwarts. It's a school that grew from the soil of a new world, carrying with it the struggles, traditions, and hopes of those who built it. In the end, Ilvermorny's magic is about more than spells and potions. It's about finding identity in a land where old traditions meet new beginnings. At Ilvermorny, blood purity never mattered. From the very beginning, it welcomed anyone with magical ability. Even no-mage-borns were given equal respect. This spirit of inclusivity made it a beacon in the magical world. Today, Ilvermorny remains the heart of North American wizardry. Thousands of witches and wizards have walked its halls, yet outside the continent, it remains shrouded in mystery. Perhaps that's the strength of its magic. It thrives not in fame, but in secrecy. So next time you think of wizarding schools, remember, Hogwarts may be legendary, but Ilvermorny is proof that magic takes root wherever there is courage, imagination, and a will to teach the next generation. It is a school born from survival, standing proud in the new world, hidden in plain sight. If you like contents like these, hit the subscribe button. Also turn on the bell notification icon, so you will be notified immediately once we upload new videos to the channel.